Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. Pastor Brian here with another quick bite, living the Word. Today our word is going to come from Song of Solomon, chapter 2. Now, Song of Solomon is a beautiful book. I know there's a lot of people who avoid this book and necessarily don't spend a whole lot of time in this book, but it's a beautiful book of Christ's relationship with the church as you read through it. In this passage in particular, in chapter 2, we're going to start by looking at the bridegroom's response here. The bridegroom's response, and this is the bridegroom speaking and what he has to say. And he's talking to his bride. Now, when you picture that with Christ with the church and his people, it really makes what he's about to say such a beautiful and amazingly picturesque kind of statement. So let's just jump right into it. 2 Solomon chapter 2, and we're going to read, actually we're going to only take a couple verses today, all right? We're actually going to just take, let's just take through verse 4. I think that'd be a great place to go today. 2 Solomon chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. It says, I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought to me the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Now, what I love about this is the response here, and what we're reading here is a beautiful thing. Because the bridegroom, here's what we have, right? It says, listen, because the bridegroom, I am that rose here. I am that lily in the valleys, all right? And I'm the lily among the thorns. I love that statement. Why? Well, because it reminded me of, as we're turning into spring here in Idaho, and you start seeing the hills come alive with different colors and with different flowers, wildflowers. As I was thinking about that, I was thinking about how beautiful that is. Because here we are in a high desert. You go out and you walk amongst the sagebrush and the cactuses. I mean, the little cactuses and stuff like this. They're out there in the high desert, and it's you have the dry trees and I mean everything like this, and it's just a beautiful thing as you see these things amongst the cedars and everything like this. It's a gorgeous land, but it's really kind of rough if you think about it. But then in the midst of walking through those things, you will run into Indian paintbrush, for example, an orange flower that just looks like it's on fire. It's gorgeous, right? You'll run into I can't think of the balsam one, but arrowleaf. Thank you, honey. Arrowleaf balsam, right? You'll run into all sorts of different flowers. Run into camas, which literally at the bottom of it you can eat. I mean, and it's a beautiful flower. And all these things that are amongst these areas that you would think you wouldn't find them. And what's so amazing about that to me, guys, is that we are really, in all honesty, looking at a picture of the church in that situation. We are in a dry, thirsty, thorny land. But we're supposed to be that beautiful flower that blooms, that beautiful thing that can grow. Why? Not because of where we're at, and not because of the environment around us, but because of the one who's planted us. Does that make sense? See, because the Lord has planted us there, we can grow there. The Lord has made us to grow. He made us to be a beautiful thing amongst the thorns. And he goes on, and I love how he says this, right? When the apple trees amongst the wood, so I sat down in the shadow. So even here's the point: it's like even though it's like you would think that, well, I'm out here where I don't really belong. There's still fruit there. There's still something worthy coming out of us. And then he goes on from that point, and he brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. And I love that statement. We talk about that one all the time, right? We even sing that. His banner over me is love. I can't do it very well here on the screen. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. Here's the beautiful part about that. That's what he's talking about. He's like, the point of the matter is that I love you. No matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through, no matter what land may look like, no matter how thorny and dry it may seem, you can be a flower. You can bloom, you can grow, and be a beautiful thing for all the world to behold, that it might draw him in, or draw them into him, excuse me. So, as you look around, no matter where you're at, no matter what your location is, look at how sometimes you just see things growing where they just don't seem like they belong. Why would that grow there? Because God planted it there. Ask yourself, why am I not growing when God has planted me? Because you should be growing. You should be blooming. You should be a beautiful, beautiful thing for the world to behold in the midst of whatever is going on, because God planted you. I love you. We love you. God loves you. And God's got this.